2 मिनिटं थांब रे, आलो.
Okay. I'm waiting for everybody. As soon as you log in, please send me a hi. Are you able to hear me? See me properly? Don't worry, you can speak.
नाही येणार आवाज.
मला येतोय ना आवाज तुझा. नाही येणार आवाज
येतोय
काय
का?
म्हणतो? हो मग काय?
प्रत्येकाला ऍड कर परत, तो नाही ऍड झालेला.
बरं करतो.
आला का रे?
नाही इथे दिसेल आपल्याला तो आला. खाली छोटा थंबनेल दिसेल. देवेशला पण केलाय, आय डोंट नो त्याला पोहोचलाय की नाही.
ते टर्म्स अँड कंडिशन येस ऍग्री कर रे.
मला कुठे तू दिसत नाहीस मला.
अँड आहे.
ठीक आहे, येतील दिसतोय.
Welcome. So this is going to be one of our Pranav, please be at your place. मस्ती नको करूस, लाइव कॉल है.
We are from Capitalize.
I am from Capitalize. Just mine is upside down, but it's okay. Right side left. Okay. So
अरे
I think
व्हिडिओ सफल होतात. एकदा तू दिसतोय, एकदा प्रत्येक दिसतोय.
हा मग एक काम करू ना, प्रतीकला काढून टाकू व्हिडिओ मधून आपण. म्हणजे आता फक्त मी दिसणार तुम्हाला, बरोबर? And now I cannot hear you at all, so I can just keep blabbering, and nobody will cut me in between. You guys can chat and respond on the text box, and maybe I can unmute Pratik for a while. Hi Pratik. अरे बोल ना काहीतरी. नाही मला काही येत नाही आता आवाज. बोला काहीतरी. तुझा माइक चेक कर.
बोल आता.
हा आता येतोय. तुझं काय झालं? माइक डाऊन होता का?
हो, माइक ऑफ होता माझा.
शाबाश. मी इथनं पण तुला काढू शकतो बघा असं. म्यूट की बोलतो. हाय प्रणव, आता तुझा माइक बंद झालाय.
येस आय नो. आला.
हा काय कळत. तुम्ही मॅन्युअली बंद केलं मला नाही कळत.
नाही, मॅन्युअली बंद नाही होत. ऍक्च्युली तू जेव्हा शिफ्ट करतो ना तेव्हा तो ऑटोमॅटिक बंद होतो.
Okay. Hey, Divesh is coming in, joining the group chat. Hello Divesh. Hello all. अच्छा तुम्हारा माइक ऑफ हो गया होगा, ऑन कर लो उसको.
Yes sir.
हाँ अभी सुनाई दे रहा है?
Yes sir.
So good morning everyone. Welcome to our first ever webinar. And we are going to discuss budget today, which was pretty okay. It was not amazing. So I'm going to start with the presentation. I will mute all of you right now so that I can speak. If you have any questions, please put it in the chat window. Would that be fine? Give me a yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'm putting all of you on non-broadcast mode and putting on the screen, so pay attention and you guys can take notes. I hope you're ready with your notepads. It's a very nice window over here. That's why I don't sit in front of the windows. Okay. Going to screen share. No. Okay, guys. So wait, I'm just going to unmute you all because if you don't see anything, I'll be able to know. Pratik, Pratik.
Yes.
Okay, okay, cool. So just let me know if you're able to see it on the screen, and then I can proceed.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. Yeah, I can see.
Oh, good. So fine. Let's start with budget 2017-18 of the Union Minister. I'm going to go through the key highlights that have happened during the budget and that was presented today. Some of them I might have missed, so don't worry about it. You guys can also pitch in and you can put your ideas in forth as well. Okay. So now moving on. What was there in the budget? First things, tax rates half to 5% for income of rupees 2.5 to 5 lakhs. That means now people will be able to save more tax, especially the employee level people. And I'm just going to put everybody on because without response, I'm thinking that I'm speaking to myself. It's a little weird. Divesh? Okay. Now, check it now. I think you should be able to unmute now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll begin again because without you guys' response, I'm not able to see what's happening. Okay, so I want you to give me a yes, no, ho, whatever sounds that you guys can make. So I understand that you guys are listening to me. Is that okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay, cool, cool. That's fantastic. Okay, so going to screen sharing again, and I'll start from the top. Okay, we did, and you have to excuse me today because this is the first time we're doing something of this sort. I'm sure next time it'll be better. Okay, that sound is not allowed. Okay, so tax rate half to 5% for income of rupees 2.5 to 5 lakh. Tax slabs unchanged. That means basically people will be paying a little less tax. That means they'll have more disposable income, and that you can see a little bit of growth in overall markets and retail and financial products. But those are long-term benefits, so no direct stocks can benefit from this particular line. Next is 10% surcharge on people earning between 50 lakh to 1 crore. Again, good for or bad for those people, but nothing particularly for stocks. Next is your 15% surcharge on annual income above 1 crore to continue. So that remains unchanged. Now, this is interesting. Cash transactions above rupees 3 lakh to be banned. This is going to directly benefit banks and payment systems because now bigger chunk of money would be flowing through these. So overall, it will be very nice for banks to have this more than 3 lakh rupees. That means they'll definitely have some surcharge to it. Other things that I'm looking at is payment systems, but unfortunately, I have not been able to find any particular company which only caters to payment systems as IT. Okay, so we are looking at overall growth in banking, especially the large transactions, which earlier used to take place in cash, now will have to happen in online or any digital mode. So that is nice for banks overall. Next comes corporate tax for SMEs with turnover up to 50 crore to 25%. It has been cut to 25% and 96% companies to benefit. This ultimately will again mean that 96% of the companies will have less expenses. So overall growth is expected. That means overall boost to the income and demand would be there because these guys would be buying something else if they make extra profits. Same thing goes to their employees. So it's a nice thing. The other one is a highlighted one, which I personally I'm interested in. This is the one that is called customs duty of LNG half to 2.5%. Now LNG is liquefied natural gas. Basically, this is used in a lot of places, specifically in your cars and vehicles and at homes. So whenever you guys now these days there's a trend that is happening that people are taking gas directly from the pipeline, and MGL, which is Mahanagar Gas Limited, and IGL, both are those companies which provide exactly that. So because the custom duty earlier was 5%, now it is turned to 2.5%. That is going to make huge marginal changes to these companies. So I see a good growth coming in these companies for the next year at least. Anyways, MGL was an excellent company doing a lot of good things in Pune and Bombay. They have got a lot of advantages as well. I am creating a report on MGL's benefits, so you can just directly go and get that report from us. Next, fiscal deficit pegged at 3.2% for next year, and 3 instead. So fiscal deficit was also good this year. It was not that huge. So our overall economy is under control. Last is FIPB to be abolished. Further FDI policy to be liberalized. That means more foreign income or more foreign investment would be coming into picture. What is next? Going up to last, government to have time-bound procedures for CPSC listing. Railway, PSUs, RCTC, IRFC, and IRCON to be listed. This is going to be a huge opportunity for us as investors. Whenever the IPOs of these companies come in, something like railway would be insanely profitable for any individual because it's one of the backbones of our economy, railways. Okay, and other government companies also are going to unlock a lot of value. So I would recommend keep an eye on these companies IPOs. If you miss the IPO, do buy some shares of these companies, especially IRCTC. I have high recommendation on it. Okay, next we have GDP growth and digital payments, GST demonetization, which has already been covered, so I won't dwell deep into it. We have disinvestment target of 72,500 crores. That means there'll be more and more PSU companies being listed, which is helpful for the government because they'll be raising more money through this mode and not from our taxes. That means more disposable income and consumption gets a push from there. Okay, long-term capital gains has been reduced for properties, so that is bad for people who want to invest in the stock real estate. And next, there's one big news that is happening. That's all the big oil companies would be coming together, and they'll be making one big company. Okay, so we need to see what happens in these. Nothing specific as a recommendation right now out of this. And overall road sector allocation hike to 64,000 crore. This is going to be huge for again cement companies because in India all the roads are being made by cement. Okay, infrastructure status according to affordable housing, so they'll be able to attract more investments and they'll have more benefits now. So again, affordable housing is going to get a big push just like last year. Indirectly, this is again going to benefit cement companies. The other benefactors of these are housing finance companies and small affordable house making real estate firms. We're going to discuss examples of that in a bit. Okay, and infrastructure investment as usual. This time again, this is higher, almost double, 3.96 lakh crore. Okay, something like L&T Larsen Turbo is going to directly benefit from this because it is one of the biggest and the most organized infrastructure companies in India, and India is very, very infrastructure hungry. So no matter what happens in the future, there's a lot of scope. However, most of the infrastructure companies are down because of the government's push. Basically, there are a lot of political issues as well, where local constructions are obstructed, payments are always off due. That's why infrastructure companies have not done well in India. However, L&T is that one company which has gone through all of this and now has become too big to get troubled by these small issues. Okay, so I see a bright future for L&T. That's in the list of recommendations as well. I'll be covering specific recommendation right after this. 10,000 crore to be provided for banks for recapitalization. This is great for PSU banks because now they'll get again more cash as usual to keep doing what they already do. But at least something like SBI and Punjab National Bank will definitely benefit from this, because again the amount is small and a lot of banks have been now merged into SBI, so that overall can be a little boost for that sector. But overall economy I see is going pretty well. It's going at a steady pace. No bad news, no big bad news. So we specifically let's go to the stocks that I highly recommend for this year. Before we go ahead, any questions or doubts that you have come across?
No, sir.
No? Pratik, Pranav?
No.
Okay, then please respond because it looks like, sounds like I'm talking to myself. So that's weird. Okay, so first and foremost, the topmost recommendation that I have is Maruti. Now, why Maruti particularly is because our economy has now started taking pace. It's already growing. India is growing at a very nice speed of 7% growth rate. And all these benefits of low taxes and GST and the money that is going to flow in and the economy that is going, the first sector to get benefit from growing economy is always automobile, because people want to buy cars, let's face it, in India, and no other car company like Maruti has understood Indian car market. Okay, so I highly recommend Maruti. ये गाड़ी बहुत लंबी चलने वाली है ऑफ कोर्स, लेकिन हमने दो शॉर्ट टर्म टारगेट रखे हैं, आप करंट मार्केट प्राइस पे बाय कर सकते हो. टारगेट वन is 6,677. ये शॉर्ट टर्म में 3 to 6 months टू मैक्सिमम 9 months के अंदर रीच हो जाना चाहिए. एंड इस साल का टारगेट जो है, ईयरली टारगेट इज 6,935. यू कैन टेक इट एज अ रिकमेंडेशन.
Okay.
ओके, गुड.
Sir, why are not two-wheeler companies going to be beneficial?
बेनिफिट तो पूरी ऑटोमोबाइल इंडस्ट्री को होगा. माय पर्सनल पिक इज मारुति आउट ऑफ दैट. पूरी
Okay.
ऑटोमोबाइल इंक्लूडिंग ऑटोमोबाइल के टू व्हीलर्स, ऑटोमोबाइल के फोर व्हीलर्स, ऑटो ऑन्सिलरीज, समथिंग लाइक बैटरीज,
So
ऑल ऑफ दिस.
like there are many people who pay income tax for under 5 lakh rupees. Okay, they'll be saving half of the income tax now. So more of them will be investing into or buying two-wheelers, right? People
But
from
the
the villages.
at the same time, people from the villages will definitely buy two wheelers. And again, I'm not saying that that industry is not going to benefit. Definitely, you can look into two wheeler companies as well. But overall, the most benefactor out of all of this is going to be Maruti, is what my research says. Because even in rural areas, somewhere down the line, people buy Maruti as well.
Yes, sir. But
And
is there any chance of uh, stock Maruti going down right now? A bit of correction or something?
no, I don't see a reason why it should get corrected.
Because it is going up from I guess 48 to 4,900 directly.
I've been
From
seeing it go up from 450 rupees. So
from last 1.5 month, I saw it from 49 or 5,000, I guess.
it'll keep growing. It'll keep going. It'll cross 7,000 by next year for sure.
Okay, sir.
So it's everything is, but now they're going to relaunch. They've already relaunched their Swift, so that's Maruti is going to be the most benefactor. Yes, you can look at two-wheeler companies as well, but again, I've not chosen anything specific particularly. What you, if you really want to go smaller than that, then look at auto ancillaries. That will
Okay,
definitely benefit from directly, and we can have a discussion later about that as well.
okay, sir.
Okay. Next in the line is M&M, which includes your rural and urban growth altogether, because they've got from tractors to XUV. They have all sorts of gamut of uh, automobiles for everybody, including trucks. By the way, with growing economy, heavy machinery trucks, heavy movable trucks also are the ones, the growth in that is another indicator of economy's growth. So M&M, since it makes trucks, also of course there are Tata and Ashok Leland is another one that can benefit from heavy machinery growth. But M&M has got everything. It has got tractors for the rural area, heavy machinery for the corporates, and urban car like Reva, and even this one. Okay, environment friendly Reva, and urban car like XUV. So overall, I see M&M to be a long term winner in this as well. You can buy it at current price, and you can keep a target of. I mean, there is no specific target. You can keep it for a longer term.
Okay.
So okay, so you can make a note of it, and I think using technicals, you can definitely take a target for it yourself.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, same thing goes for ITC. Now, why ITC? There's a specific reason. Every year, cigarette companies are put on with more taxes, right? That happens every year, and so the cigarette prices keep increasing. But this year, this is a good news that they have not changed, or they've not added any more taxes. Okay, so that is automatically, usually there is a small bearishness in ITC or cigarette companies overall, because they go down because they expect that there's going to be more taxes, so there are going to be less profits being made in cigarettes. But this year that has not happened, so that is a positive thing for ITC. And of course, there's another company called VST Industries. You can look into that as well for long-term perspective. ITC can be kept on hold for 1 year. Again, target is up to you. I would recommend keeping ITC for life. Since you smoke, so that's another advantage.
Yes.
Imagine how much you already spent on ITC.
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot.
Yes. Okay, next. LT, Larsen and Turbo. That is our another star stock, which is one of the most prime infrastructure companies. As you saw, government is already putting a lot of money into infrastructure. A big benefactor of this would be L&T directly, Larsen and Turbo. Okay. The other reason is metro rail is being propagated everywhere in the country. So most of the contracts for metro rail and airports is given to Larsen and Turbo. Therefore, this is going to be a huge growth for India as well as Larsen and Turbo. And again, unlike other companies which have a lot of issues of payments not coming in, that's why their balance sheets are horrible, or political problems, LT is so big that these little problems don't matter to them anymore. That's why I see steady growth in them. You can buy it at current market price. Your first 6 months target could be 1600. It has already started growing nicely. It is also making a pattern. You can check and tell me. In fact, Divish, all these
Up
five
and under.
companies, yes, 5 companies, send me the charts of it and what patterns you can find. Okay.
Yes, sir.
As a homework. Next. And a longer term target would be 1800. I would also go ahead and have a more positive target of 2000 rupees for LT, because I don't see any reason why it should not grow at that point of time, unless, well, I don't know, a government of India falls, probably.
It
But
is
the only
also
thing,
it is
yeah,
also closing its 9 small businesses right now and withdrawing all the money, selling it off.
another good advantage. That's good. That's good. So it'll keep. So that will also unlock value, create more cash flow for them. That's
Capital
nice.
increase.
Exactly. Okay. So next in line is Ultratech Cement, which I saw is one of the best companies. Although its price is high, it is on a P ratio basis. This was the most undervalued stock that I saw among cement stocks. All the companies are good. The top companies, Ambuja, Ultratech, and ACC are the 3 big ones. Something like Shree Cement is also good. You can look into it. However, since Ultratech is one of the best, it is going to benefit the most from the benefits that are coming from the government. Okay, 3 big factors that are adding to it is one, uh, affordable housing is increasing, so which is going to need cement. Of course, there's going to be huge roadways being built in India. Now I know IRB infrastructure is something that you were looking at,
Yes, sir.
right? But again, being an infrastructure company and government run, it is something which I would stay away from, because infrastructure companies have horrible balance sheets. Hence, they have horrible growth. So I usually would not prefer IRB. But if you want to take direct benefit from this roadways being built, Ultratech is already there. We saw last year what happened to cement companies. I think the story is going to continue.
Okay, sir.
So Ultratech can be bought for a short-term target of 4050. That is going to happen in 3 months, if I'm not wrong, and 3 to 6 months. And a longer-term target would be 4300. You can also keep a tight eye on it since after 4200. 4200 is an important round number. Okay, so these are the 3 levels. But short-term target is 4050.
Okay, sir.
Next, Mahanagar Gas Limited. I already spoke a lot about it. It is a fantastic company. It has got exclusive rights for the next 20 years to sell gas in Mumbai and connected areas, only in Maharashtra. You can already see in Pune there are 5-6 petrol pumps, sorry, liquid and LNG pumps being made, and everywhere in societies people prefer to take gas from the pipeline. Okay, now that the government has reduced the import duty, because MGL and IGL both get their gas from GAIL, which in turn gets it from Iran. Okay, so there's a pipeline through which we import this liquefied natural gas. Now the import duty on that has been reduced. That's why it's going to directly come into MGL. Now another advantage of MGL is that even if there is a hike in the price or any taxes, they are directly able to transfer it to their customers, because the price of liquefied natural gas is not regulated by government. So if there is a 1%, 2%, 3% increase also in the future, they will be able to directly pass it on to their customers so that their balance sheets won't get affected. That is a big benefit of having a liquid LNG company. Also, they have restricted that means there is going to be no competition for them for the next 20 years. They've already built the infrastructure. Now they just have to keep supplying gas to everybody and keep collecting the bills. That is the only simple thing that they have to do. So also another advantage of MGL is that it is placed in Mumbai, from where the other alternate locations of getting LNG is very close by. So they have very little cost of getting the supply compared to IGL in Delhi. IGL has to get it from Bombay alternatively, and they have excellent management, which is going to do great. The IPO is already, the stock is already doubled from its IPO. It was around 400 range. Now it's going on to 800 range. A short-term target for MGL would be 1,000, but I would recommend keeping it for the next 3, 5, 10 years. I don't see any downside. This is going to be a potential multi-bagger in my research and analysis. Do keep MGL in your account.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Next comes your LIC Housing and Finance. We had discussed this earlier as well, but now we are going to go for a specific target of 640. Buy it at current price because of the affordable housing and overall housing push. The extra people are going to buy houses everywhere, and they do it mostly on loans. And LIC is one of the top companies, housing finance companies, who's going to benefit from it. Having said that, the other housing companies are also good, like Canfin Homes, Divan Housing. There was one more name that we had discussed. Anyways, these all companies are going to benefit. My specific pick is LIC Housing Finance. Short-term target of 640 and a higher target of 700 can also be kept for within this year. Shouldn't take more than a year's time to get these two targets. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now, as usual, like every year, agriculture was given a big boost, and through this big boost, there are some companies that are going to directly benefit. Although we do not see a short-term increase because it was not huge, it was an okay kind of an increase. So we are looking at UPL, Kaveri Seeds, Rallis, and other agro-related companies which will make fertilizers, pumps, irrigation. Now, again, it would not be like last year where there was huge growth potential, but I see some decent growth in this year. Considering the monsoon continues to have okay, not we should not have less monsoon this year. That's the only concern that I have. And these companies should flourish in the current economic era, because overall there's going to be a huge growth in the rural income and the overall employment area, and this indirectly or directly benefits the agricultural sector as well, because let's face it, rural India is where our agriculture rural industry is. So that's it for now. There'll be more stocks coming in. I will be presenting specific reports and technical analysis charts as well in the coming future, but that is for our advisory members, of course. There are other stocks. If you come into picture, please consult me. You have my email ID and WhatsApp number. Text me with the chart or questions. I'll be able to gladly answer your questions. Okay. If you have anything in mind, you can talk to me right now as well. I'm
So
going to
I
stop
was,
sharing this screen. Yeah.
I just wanted to ask about LT Finance
Okay.
and Gen Irrigation, as it is also related to the agriculture sector, I guess.
Yes. Jan irrigation is definitely a good pick, but I don't know
Syntax.
short term or long term. Syntax is definitely going to boost. In fact,
So
Prateek is a big fan of Syntax.
I actually heard about the duties being moved off from the all the imports about the chips and every micro card which is going to be used for the Aadhaar card and every debit or credit card.
Mhm. Mhm.
So will it be beneficial for the port industry also, as they are constructing road towards the all the port industry ports also?
I don't see a direct benefit because chip is a very small. It's like a 2%, 5%
But
of
sir,
what they import.
government is introducing Aadhaar banks also, na, right now. Like
That is true.
people
That
will
is
be
true.
able
And there'll
to.
be huge amounts of chips being imported in India. But a chip is a first of all very small part, and there are huge things coming imported in India, including oil, including your steel. There are many things that are being imported in India. So just because there is a tax exemption or import duty less on chips doesn't mean the port industry is going to benefit from it, because it's one of the small things of a lot of things that they actually import.
But sir, they are increasing the connectivity to the ports, na? They are constructing new roads.
Definitely. So again,
He
direct
specifically
benefitors would be people who are making the roads, not the airports. Airports will keep, sorry, not airports, your port, your water ports will have its benefit, but they're not going to grow exponentially or have a huge impact. They're going to grow steadily because the first roads have to be built, and then the traffic will start coming to them.
okay,
Now,
sir.
to make that happen within India, there are a lot of ports, a lot of roads to be made. It may take 1, 2 years, 3 years maybe. But the building construction has to start immediately, and the order of the cement has to be placed. Is it making sense? So that's
Yes,
why
sir.
the immediate impact would come on cement companies, not on the ports.
Okay, sir.
Any other specific? As far as the chips are concerned, again, it is also negative for a lot of companies which are making chips in India. There is something called as most chip semiconductors and a lot of other companies. So if the microchips are being imported from other countries like China, it is not going to benefit the industry in India itself. So maybe that will cancel out the overall effect on the economy of this particular idea. What do you say,
Okay.
Pratik? Pratik, do you agree with me on this one?
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. For
Yeah.
chips to be imported, is it going to be good for our company, as in our country?
More than 80% chips are we are importing right now. So
Okay. So
more than
again,
more than 80%.
it's only going
We
to
are
be benefiting the people who are buying the chips, I think, right?
yeah, sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't see any specific target company that I can say right now, but maybe there is something to it. You were saying something else about one more company, L&T Finance.
Finance
Yes,
holdings,
that
sir.
is again nice, very nice. That company is great. Please go ahead with buy and use a technical target for it. It is going to 100% benefit from what is happening right now in our country, for
So
sure.
what about small fertilizer companies like Chambal Fertilizers, Coromandel Fertilizer, Deepak Fertilizers, and all, which do make fertilizers?
Definitely. So ideally, these companies would benefit as a general growth, but because there's already a competition among them, so I don't see a specific clear winner out of this.
Okay,
And we'll have to check out market share of each company. But if one of them, for a smaller company, if they get a big contract because of this, but then individual farmers don't give big contract. Now there is
uh,
say of contract farming coming into picture, where something like ITC and HUL, if they start contract farming on a large scale and then give contract to these smaller companies, would make a huge impact on these companies. But individually, farmers are always going to place their individual orders.
okay.
So I don't see an exponential or a big impact. Yes, overall the industry is definitely going to keep growing.
So you see a big boom in the infrastructure coming now, and in the budget also it was all about the infrastructure. What about steel companies like Tata Steel, JSW Steel, and all?
Okay, so now you need to understand the business cycle of steel companies. Okay, steel is an important commodity. Steel is basically made out of iron, which is a commodity, and commodity prices are exceptionally susceptible to cyclical changes.
Okay,
गोल्ड जैसे देखो, तुम्हारा क्रूड ऑयल देख लो, ये प्राइस इनका फ्लक्चुएट होता रहता है, एंड जितना ज्यादा प्राइस फ्लक्चुएट होता है उतना ही ज्यादा कंपनी को खतरा होता है बैलेंस शीट में हमेशा गड़बड़ होने का. क्योंकि
okay, sir.
इस महीने सपोज आयरन के प्राइसेस कम है तो उनको बहुत सारा प्रॉफिट दिखेगा, बट अगले साल आगे प्राइसेस बढ़ गए तो अगेन वो प्रॉफिट नेगेटिव में भी जा सकता है. सो स्टील कंपनीज जो होती है वो साइकिल में चलती है 3-4 साल के बियॉन्ड में. सो एक एक साइकिल जब उनका प्राइस बढ़ने का साइकिल शुरू हो जाता है, सो देन दे स्टार्ट मेकिंग प्रॉफिट्स, एंड प्राइस घटने का जब भी शुरू हो जाता है तब वो लोग नुकसान बनाते हैं. ना स्टील, टाटा स्टील है, वो आयरन लेता है और स्टील बना के मतलब आगे बेचता है, सो उसको अगेन स्टील के प्राइसेस से अलग अलग इम्पैक्ट पड़ते होंगे, बट बिकॉज ऑफ दैट उनका बैलेंस शीट हमेशा खतरे में रहता है. इज इट मेकिंग सेंस? So
Okay, sir.
with this news, although a lot of steel would be used in India, that demand is never going to go out. But the profit for the company like Tata Steel is not going to be stable.
Okay, it might be fluctuating then.
Yes, absolutely.
And sir, I was thinking about a stock, HCL Infosystems Limited. It
Okay.
actually जितना भी आधार कार्ड का जो भी डेटा, it is only controlling all the data. And I feel like in future, if Aadhaar banks and all will be coming to the play, so it will be a big job for the HCL Infosys
Okay, that sounds nice. That's on HCL Info.
Infosystems.
Can you just type the name of the company in the chat box?
Yes, sir.
I will look into it. Sounds great. Because one thing that I'm worried about is that most, like 80% of people in India already have an Aadhaar card. So do they still have demand for getting more work? क्योंकि आधार तो मिल चुका है सबको. Devesh,
Yes, sir.
are you typing the name?
I did say
HCL.
HCL Info. You can find it on Money
Okay,
Control
cool. I will
easily.
look into this company. This sounds nice. If what you're saying is true and it turns out to be a good, then this company would definitely benefit from Aadhaar payments. Okay, then anything else? What
No,
about my
sir.
fellow members at Capitalize?
I think if you want to take the advantage of real estate, infrastructure, and agriculture in one stop, you can buy a Phenolex pipe because it will create
Finolex
demand
pipes.
as well and in a rural area as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. So Finolex Pipes is a great company to look at from irrigation because that is where they'll benefit from the agricultural sector to real estate because now affordable housing are being built. उनमें pipeline तो लगती है, water supply लगता ही है, and infrastructure में भी pipes लगने वाले हैं सब जगह पे. So I think with all these three things coming into picture, something like a Finolex pipe which deals in all three sectors, I think that's huge benefit. I'm going to add that to my list as well. That's brilliant.
So would it
So
be a good bet to invest in real estate companies?
No.
I would recommend. Well, you can find one specific company which is doing exceptionally well with a great business model. Do you have any particular company which is working on an
I
exceptional
No, I was
business
looking
model?
at IB Real Estates and HDIL.
Yeah, but what is it? There are like about 10, 20 different companies in the market. How do you make sure that these are the companies which are doing the best?
I didn't look at them properly
You need
right
to
now.
look at fundamental reasons why. Again, not saying the whole real estate sector, especially the ones who are dealing in, I'm sorry, who are dealing in small affordable housing is going to benefit from all of this for sure. But we need to look at the companies which will definitely make the most of it.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So do let me know. You need to find out companies which first of all are into affordable housing and not just any real estate company.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so to make use of this budget theme. And I think in the future also they'll continue to make benefit because there is going to be only two types of housing in the real estate world. There are going to be two types of investments. One is affordable housing where people will stay, that's going to boom, and the other one is a second home business. There's no middle ground anymore. There's no middle class. It's either going to be cheap for everybody, janta ka mal, otherwise classy. There's not going to be
Okay.
middle ground for real estate for sure.
Lower middle class, lower class, and upper class.
Yes, so lower middle and below, and upper class and above. There is no middle class. Finolex pipe and HCL Infotech. I'm going to look into these. I think Finolex pipe was definitely it showed a very good chart last year. I'm sure it's going to continue its story in that way. Thank you, Pratik.
Yes.
And Syntex, of course, is recommended by you, right? For affordable housing, because a lot of doors are being made by Syntex and dustbins.
Yes.
Pranav, anything on your side? Any particular company that you found out? Capitalize trading and investment. Purposely chose three of you because we know each other and all the technical difficulties can be ignored. Okay, thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
And maybe we patient in the coming Saturdays. All right, then you can always text and chat me and get to me through WhatsApp. Okay, bye
Okay, sir.
bye.
Bye 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 all. Thank you.
Bye.